There are the two files are created. If we create any database, two basic files are created. One is MDF file, second one is LDF file, right? So yesterday we have seen practically also, wherever you specify the location, in that location the both files are created. Those two files are the heart of the database. If any one of the file got corrupted or damaged, your database is not coming into online. That means your database is not accessible. That is the simple thing. So if we come to here, so this is the default instance I connected. So in this SQL server, there are the different options are available. If you see the left side of the screen, so there is a call to databases, security object, okay, replications, polybase. There are the different options are there, but we don't want all the options. We don't need to learn all the options at a time. Okay, so every option having a separate situation, separate scenario. So in that case, so we'll go and learn. This polybase is not required at all. Okay, until unless if you are working with some kind of a Python program related things. So these things will coming soon. Will learn one by one. So not right now. So we'll learn step by step. Let's come to the first one, databases. When you create a database, what happen inside? There are the two files are created inside. One is MDF file, one is LDF file. If you see here, when you expand the database tab, if you see here, there is a one more folder called system databases. There is a database snapshot, and there is a different brown color databases. These are called user defined databases. Whatever you are able to see in the database symbol in the black color or dark brown color, these are called system database, sorry, user defined databases. When you expand the system databases folder, you can able to see system databases. System databases are fixed. System databases are fixed databases. If you go and install any version, either SQL Server 2005 or 8, 8R2, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, any database server you can install. These four system databases are the fixed databases, will never change. Okay, basically 5 system databases are there, but we can able to see 4 physically. Always we can able to see 4 databases. One is master, one is model, one is MSDB, and last one is tempdb. These 4 are the system databases. This is the very important interview question. What are the system databases in SQL Server? So what you need to tell? So we have 4 system databases: master, model, MSDB, and tempdb. If the interviewer asks one more question, do you have any other databases other than these 4? Yes, we have one more system database, that is the hidden database. We can't able to see here. That database is called resource database. If they ask any other, then you tell that answer. If they are not asked, you simply tell the four system databases. If you tell straight away first time 5 databases means, definitely they will ask one more question: what is resource database? Because many of the people don't have idea on the resource database. Everyone knows we have only 4 databases. but only 10% of the people knows we have one more database, that is the resource database. But in the interviewers also, they can't explore 100% subject knowledge. If they will ask, then you can answer. If they don't ask, just simply explain these four. We'll explain. Okay, I will explain these four system databases. These four are the heart of the SQL Server. If any one databases is damaged, there will be an impact. If master is corrupted, our SQL Server is not coming into online. Our SQL Server is not at all available. It is going to be down. If model is down, SQL Server user databases are not working. If MSDB down, our agent is completely, if you see here downside, SQL Server agent, this is completely depending on the MSDB. If MSDB database is not available means it is down, it is not available to work, then your agent will never work. Your jobs are not running. If your temp DB is not there, so your SQL Server is not there, then only your temp DB is not there. If your SQL Server is start and running, your temp DB is definitely available. So if temp DB is not available, the meaning is your service down. When the service down, then only temp DB is not available. So we can't perform any operations without temp DB. Okay, I will explain in detail. There will be a next I will explain in detail. So this is the basic idea. We'll go in detail what is master specialty, what it contains exactly, what is model, what is MSDB. I tell you the simple one word definitions now. So we'll explain more details soon. Next, coming to user databases. These are all our own user defined databases. So if you want to create any database, you can right click the databases option. You can create the database and give the database name. That is the one way we can able to create. If you want to create the command prompt or script, create database name with your specified locations, you can specify the locations. Otherwise, you can keep it as default, the default location, whatever you specified at the time of installation, there it will be created. So this is about the database folder, and database snapshot is there. This is the different situation. When you create the snapshot for any database, it will be create a replica copy in the snapshot. Simply telling the snapshot means it is a one kind of one image, okay, one screenshot. Just like when you took the snapshot, for example, you took the snapshot today 8:31, whatever the transactions is happened from the beginning to till 8:31, till this time the everything is be created and keep in the snapshot. If you perform any transactions after 8:31, that will not come into the snapshot. Why? You generated the snapshot at 8:31. After 8:31, the transactions are coming to directly into the database, not coming into the database snapshot. That is the drawback. సో మీరు ఎప్పుడు క్రియేట్ చేస్తారో అప్పుడు వరకు మాత్రమే అందులో ఉంటాయి. If you want to again after 1 hour again you want changes, again you need to delete the old snapshot, again you need to create the new snapshot. That is the drawback. Okay, I will show later point of view. That will be the situation when it is coming into the mirroring concept, we can able to create the snapshots. Okay, so this is about the database folder, what it contains. I think you got some basic idea on this. When you coming into the databases, you can able to see the three options. One is the system database, one is the database snapshot, and all other user defined databases are adding one by one whatever you created. Till now we have 6 databases. If you create n number of databases, please leave it for the database snapshot. We don't use that mostly. There will be a situation we can use in one place, one time. Then I will explain at that time. Database system databases we can able to see, but these are all the fixed rate. So this is about the database folder. Let's coming into the security. This is very important. These two are the very important databases and securities. When coming to the security, again you can able to see the different subfolders, logins, server roles, credentials, cryptographic providers, audits, server audit specifications. In this also, what we need exactly we can able to use mostly logins, server roles. These two we are using mostly. Okay, we don't use the other options. There we need to know what is what and leave it. But we need to keep on working with the logins only. Server roles also not created frequently. Whenever we have the requirement, then we can create the server roles. Otherwise, we can able to leave it. Okay. So next one, the next. So in the logins part, what it contains. In the logins part, simply all our logins, all our users are coming into the picture. So in the logins, what type of logins are available? If Windows level logins are also available here. SQL Server logins also available here. And there will be a system administrator default login, SA. This is the supreme administrator. All the rights having SA login. If SA login is deleted, so the super admin is deleted. If we have any other alternative super account, then only we can able to map it again. So don't touch the SA login. In the real time, you don't have the access of SA login. Normally, when you get the job into the any company, so you got any project, in that project there will be a domain level users. So based on your employee ID, your name, they will create one login for you. You always log in using that login and connect into any server. You don't use any SA logins or any other Windows level logins. Don't use any others. Only use your login. But in your own purpose, in your own practice, if you install in your mission, you know everything. You know the password of SA, you know the password of Windows administrator, you know everything. Then you can play the game around here. But in the real time, you don't get the chance. You don't get touch into these all the things. Whatever the login, for example, your name is whatever it is. So in that username or employee ID, they will create one login and password. You always connect with that login and you can use it. So the basic thing is, if your login is enabled here, then only you can able to log in into SQL Server. I will show you simple example. I am creating one login. Leave it about the old existing one. Okay. I am creating one new login. When you create any logins here, those logins comes under SQL logins, not Windows logins. If we create the login at OS level, that is called as Windows level login. When you log in into the SQL server, go to the security, Go to the logins folder. You create the login. These logins comes under SQL Server logins. Please remember this. There will be a difference between Windows logins and SQL Server logins. SQL Server logins we are creating here, but Windows logins we can't create here. We don't create. Windows team is there separately. Windows network team, they will create and they will give it to us. But SQL Server logins, we are the DBA administrator. We have the responsibility to create the SQL logins. If you want to create the SQL Server logins also, you have to must have the right to create the logins. If you have the right, then only you can able to create. What permissions is required to create the logins, I will explain later. Okay. So it is coming here. I'm using SQL Server Authentication. If we have the Windows login already exist, if you want, you can map it. This is for mapping, not creating. Okay. If you want to, if you have already Windows login at OS level, but you want to make it as that Windows login to SQL Server login, just browse it and you can select it and you can map it. When you map it, automatically that login is enabled here. No need to set the password also, because the password is already at OS level, they will set it. The same thing it will work. But when coming to select the SQL Server login, I am creating my login name, my name, Sambi. Okay, I am entering password. Welcome at the rate 123 is my password. W capital, enter some password. So when you come to here, enforce password policy, enforce password expiration, user must change password at next login. These are all the some privileges, sorry, policy privileges, just like a terms and conditions. When you enable this, when you log in into the SQL Server using your login name, definitely for the first time, you need to change your password. If you make it enable this, if you disable it, your password will work always. Enforce password expiration. Password expiration based on some interval. Maybe after 1 month or 15 days, there will be a policy. Enforce password policy. So when you enforce password policy, by default, it will disable your password expiration after that policy, whatever the condition is there. Mostly it will have the after 1 month or 15 days. Okay. That's why I am not enabling anything. I am leaving as empty. If you make it enable, definitely you have to follow that rules. Rules in the sense, first time when you log in into this, definitely you need to change the password, because you have already mentioned user must change the password at next login. Okay, I will show both cases. Okay. So now I am leaving as empty. And default database, it is by default it is coming master. If you want, you can change default language. I am not selecting anything. Keep it as default until unless there is a special request came to you. Please do these options. Please do enable this. Please do this. They will specify everything. You have to strictly follow based on that request. If they are not telling anything, then you keep it as all the options. Mostly it will be default. That will be the good. If they won't ask anything, you take your own decision and you change the things, means that will be a very big problem in the real time. Every change, even one letter change also, you need the change request. There is no any your own decisions. Your own decisions will valid in your laptop personally if you are practicing, if you are installing. When you are working with any client, when you are working with any project, you don't have any right. Everything should be evidence is required. If no evidence, if you are in the trouble, maybe not at the immediate case, after 1 month or 1 day or 2 days, after 2 months, if any escalation came, they will track your records. You are in the trouble. So don't take any risk things. If you want to perform anything, you don't consider this is the only one letter they did by manual mistake. Yes, it is the mistake, but if you identify, then you have to ask them. You send database name is DB1, but I can't able to see DB1. I can able to see only DB. Which one is correct? They will again correct it by my mistake. I enter the wrong. Please ignore. Please proceed with your DB database. If you have that confirmation, you can proceed. Same way, not only this, anything you are going to be performed on production database, you need to very careful. You need to double check, triple check if required. Don't go blindly. So even I told you right, with one letter change also, there will be a chance of other server names. If you are connected wrongly with wrong server, there may be a same database is also possible. If you have done the wrong operations, there will be a huge penalty on that. Okay. So maybe they terminate your job also if that situation the problem is very big, or sometimes they will give the warning first time, don't do the next time. That is the depends on the uh, problem. Maybe you have done the client any accountability problems, or you have done the wrong updates, wrong deletes. These are all the very danger. If we have the evidence, then you can proceed. Sometimes what happened, you said this is the problem, so can we proceed or not? They will confirm, yeah, no problem, you can proceed, I will take care. If you have that confirmation, if you have the proper mail evidence, then you can proceed. Don't go with chat also. If they say, if they simply in the chat or Teams chat or Skype chat, okay, you can proceed. That is not the evidence confirmation. Evidence confirmation means either it should be either mail or it should be any change request. There will be a change request or incident. There will be one ticket will be raised. You have either ticket number or you have the mail confirmation. If the chat will be automatically gone after your sign off. If you are login tomorrow, your chat is not available. But after 10 days, the escalation came, how you can prove? That's why if they ask in the chat also, you simply ask, could you please drop the mail with the same? They will send the mail. Then you can keep it for future reference. If you are in the mail, definitely your group is there, your team lead will be there, your all colleagues will be there, all will be aware of it. They won't send to your personally. Definitely there will be a group DLs. Group DL means all our SQL having one email ID, they will send it to us. If they are not sending also, they are sending to your personal also. You can simply loop it, add that group. That will be the good way of process in the real time. Okay, so why I told this? Because in the logins level, very careful. Okay, let's coming into the first option is general. What I have done in the general, I have simply specified the username, and username should be a single word. You should not give Sambi space my name is like this, Sambi space Reddy, or you can give Sambi space my surname. Like if you don't call any words which is separated with space, it should not valid. The login name should be a single word. That should be a valid thing. Okay. You don't use any other symbols. Only underscore is only allowed. Okay. Don't use different symbols. It won't will be valid. Okay. Simply as much as simple you can create the mostly in the real time your employee name, first letter, last letter, and some code will be coming. They won't create your own personal names, not like that. Okay. Next, go to the server levels. There will be a different 9 server roles are there. These are also very important. I will explain each one, but by default it will be the public. Just keep it as it is. I will explain. Okay. Just for login creation, what things you want. Next one, this is the user mapping. Whatever the login you are creating, that login, what databases they want to access. These are all the list of databases. Automatically your master model, MSDB, TempDB, and whatever the databases are online, everything is coming into here. But in these all databases, the user, what databases they want to access? Or they want to access all the databases? Or they want to access only particular one database? Or they want to access only particular two databases? That is also a proper clarification is required. Okay. Normally, no user having all the access. Only sysadmin, system administrator, only able to access all the databases. Normally, all the users, they want only all the user databases. They don't want the system databases. Okay, for example, sometimes they want to only access only one database. At that time, you can simply just click the map button. See, when I click the map button, if you see the here, now username is blank. When I enable it, it is coming my login name automatically here. Login is at SQL Server level. User is at a database level. అంటే ఇక్కడ మీరు జనరల్లోకి వెళ్ళి మీరు క్రియేట్ చేసిన లాగిన్ నేమే మీరు యూజర్ మ్యాపింగ్స్లోకి వెళ్ళి మీరు డేటాబేస్ని సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోగానే ద సేమ్ లాగిన్ విల్ ఆటోమేటికల్లీ యాడెడ్ టు యువర్ యూజర్స్ లిస్ట్. అంటే వెన్ కమింగ్ ఇన్ టు ద డేటాబేస్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ యువర్ లాగిన్ నేమ్ విల్ యాక్ట్ యాజ్ ఏ డేటాబేస్ లెవెల్ యూజర్. అంటే లాగిన్ యూజరు వేరు కాదు. Login and user both are same, but when we call login at server level, when we call user at database level, this is very important. Don't confuse. ఒకే నేమ్ రెండు చోట్ల మ్యాప్ అవుతుంది. ఒక చోట మ్యాప్ అయితే డేటాబేస్ లెవెల్లో ఆ లాగిన్నే మనం యూజర్ అంటాం, లాగిన్ అనం. అదే యూజరు సర్వర్ లెవెల్లోకి వెళ్తే ఇక్కడ లాగిన్ అంటాం, ఇక్కడ యూజర్ అన్నాం. ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద డేకి లాగిన్ అన్న యూజర్ అన్న ఒకటే. ఓకే, నౌ ఐఎమ్ మ్యాపింగ్ ఇంటూ వన్ డేటాబేస్. వెన్ కమింగ్ టు అగైన్ డౌన్ హియర్, there are the again 9 permissions. These permissions are called database level permissions. When we go to here server roles, these 9 are called server level permissions. We call it as a server roles. When coming into the user mapping, select any database, you can able to see database roles. These 9 are called database level roles, or we can simply call it as a database level security permissions. By default is public. When we come to the server level, we can able to see 9 server roles. These we can call it as a server level security permissions. By default public, that we can't change. Currently I am not changing anything, I am giving as default. And when you go to the securables, we can't see anything here, login name. So if you want to, we can add the securables. So that we'll see later. All should be confused at once. So meeku first time kabatti it will be the little bit confusion. If you are keep on verifying the same options, then you will get to know clearly. When coming into the status option, what is the status of your login? The login should be grant, then only you can connect into the server. Your login should be enabled, then only your login is working. If they are selecting as deny, or if they disable, your login won't work. If you deny, they won't connect. If you disable, they won't work. Next, sometimes what happen, you tried multiple times with wrong password, automatically your account should be locked. When it is coming into the log, so here SQL authentication login is locked out. ఇక్కడ సెలెక్ట్ అయిపోయింది, ఇక్కడ టిక్ మార్క్ పడుతుంది ఆటోమేటికల్లీ. ఇది ఎనేబుల్ అవుతుంది. ఇఫ్ యూ ట్రైడ్ మల్టిపుల్ టైమ్స్ లాగిన్ విత్ పాస్వర్డ్ ఈజ్ రాంగ్, automatically it is coming as a tick mark, means enable means you will get again error, your login or user is locked. When you go to that login, you inform to the system administrator SA login is coming here, and they can disable it. Then only you will get the unlock. So what we see here, total final conclusion for the whole thing. In the login, when you create any login, new login, go to the general, just create the right click the login button, you will get this pop-up dialog box. In the general left side, we have different options. First option, general, you can specify the login name and select the SQL authentication, specify the password, and again confirm the same password, and you can leave it as all default options. If you want password policies, you can simply select it. If you don't want policies, you can simply leave it. Then go to the server roles. So here 9 options are there. I will explain this later. Just keep it as default public. Then again coming to user mapping, which database they want to select. If I map to the only DB1 database, they only access this database. If I map MIS database, he can able to use MIS also. If I map all, they will access all. That is also our requirement. Here also I am not changing, I am keeping as public. Next, coming into the securables, nothing I am changing. When coming into the status, here also nothing I am changing, I am keeping as default options. Then everything is ready, click OK. So automatically your login is created and coming into login tab. So see, my login is created. So now I am trying to use my own login. Is it working or not? Let's try. If you want to work with your new login, again just go to the new connection. You can connect n number of sessions with the same server with different username passwords. Are you getting my point? Same server, but I am selecting SQL authentication. What login I am using? My own login. My login name is Sambi. I am entering my password. If both username and password is correct, then you can able to connect. Now it is connected successfully. That means Your login is valid, your login having the access to connect, your login is working fine. If you go here, databases, how many databases are there? All databases are there, but how many databases you are mapping into this user? You mapped only one database. Just check it. Only DB1 only is able to access. When you try to access other database, you will get an error. So this is, what is the error? The database is not accessible because you don't have the right. I given only one database access. I select only one right, and nothing is accessible. So if you select any other database, it is getting error. I given only DB1 access, that's why he is able to connect and use the DB1 database. Okay. So this is about the way to create the login, and that login, what permissions you want to give. That is there in the complete security mechanism. This is very, very important. We will explore tomorrow. 2-3 days is required to complete the security mechanism. One by one we'll explore. Okay. So this is about the whole agenda of the database tab, and it is coming